SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information. I'm Peter Loshak. The 2013 World Series is here, and we are going to preview the series price right now with Troy West from allplayswin.com. Troy and I did a regular weekly baseball show that was very successful during the regular season, and, I think we can find some value in these World Series lines. Troy West from allplayswin.com. Thanks for being back with us.
Hey, thanks a lot, Pete. What a phenomenal World Series to be able to cover. I can't say that I'm a fan of either of these two teams, and I can't say I'll be rooting either of them on, but, you tip your hat to Boston, 90 losses last year. They're in the World Series this year, and I don't know how the Cardinals keep doing it, but they keep doing it, and so I tip my cap to both these teams, and should be a great World Series regardless if you're a baseball fan.
All right, well, I'm definitely going to be rooting one of these teams on because I bet one of them already on the series price. I'll tell you what my lean is here right now at Pinnacle. Boston minus 135, St. Louis plus 122 on the other side, and obviously, Boston has the home field advantage here. And I'm telling you what, I'm liking St. Louis here at plus 122. I mean, you look at their rotation, right? Waka and Wainwright, both those guys are more reliably lights out, I think, than anyone in the Boston rotation. I mean, obviously, anyone can get hit at any time, especially Wainwright. He hasn't been, we've seen him get hit before. Waka is motherfucking phenomenal, but, Waka and Wainwright, I think the two best pitchers out of the 8 in the starting rotation clearly right now, Kelly and Lynn decent. Then you look at Boston, Lester, Lackey, Buchholz, and Peavy, all those guys are good, but they're a World Series team. You expect them to have at least a decent starting 4 in their rotation. But I'm liking St. Louis' starting rotation a little bit better. I like their lineup a little bit better. Boston played in the American League the whole year in a hitter's park. St. Louis exactly the opposite. They were in the National League the whole year in a pitcher-friendly park. So adding it all up at plus 122, I'm liking St. Louis, and I did make a small bet on it.
Pete, you took the words right out of my mouth in a lot of ways. I'm 100% going to agree with you here. I like the St. Louis Cardinals to win the World Series this year. This pitching staff, as you said, phenomenal. When you get Wainwright and Waka, you're probably going to end up getting them twice if the series goes deep. I don't know how you can beat those guys twice. I really don't. I like the lineup of the St. Louis Cardinals. I like the way that they have this clutch hitting team. Molina's clutch, Beltran's clutch, Holiday seems to be clutch. Matt Carpenter in the leadoff spot's been phenomenal. Their bullpen's been great. I'm not taking anything away from Boston. This is a great Boston team. I love what they've done this year. They seem to be hot right now, and they're riding this wave, so it's tough to go against them, especially when they're at home. But St. Louis just got too much going. You look at what John Lester's done throughout the season in the playoffs. It's been somewhat shaky at times. I know he's had a great year for John Lester's style, but he's been shaky. Clay Buchholz, he's been shaky. John Lackey, you don't always know what you're going to get from him.
Right.
Jake Peavy, if he goes, you're not sure what you're going to get from him. You know what you're going to get from Wainwright. The guy's been lights out the whole end of this year. Waka's been just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, if he keeps this up, he's going to go down as one of the best ever. He's been outstanding. I know that's a bold statement, but the guy's virtually unhittable right now. You got to go with St. Louis plus 122. And I want to pull out an X factor here for you, Pete. One thing that I think is really interesting is that what are you going to do with David Ortiz when they have to go into St. Louis? Is he going to play first base in this series? I think that'd be a huge, huge hazard if you're the Boston Red Sox. Is big old Poppy playing first base, or is he going to sit the bench and make that lineup much weaker than it is? Big question marks there for Boston. They're not used to having to have the pitcher bat all season long. St. Louis is. So I like St. Louis, Pete. Let's roll with them.
So why do you think then that Boston is such a decent-sized favorite here?
I think the only reason Boston's favored here is because they are having the home field advantage, and it's a really tricky thing. It's just like the NBA, the 2-3-2. So if you go into Boston and you figure a split, and then you go back to St. Louis, even if St. Louis gets 2 out of 3, the final 2 games are going to be in Boston, which I think gives Boston the edge here. Very tough place to play. We know home field advantage in baseball does have an impact, especially when you get this deep. So I think home field advantage alone is what's favoring Boston here, but it's not enough for me to go against the St. Louis Cardinals.
All right, what can I say? I agree with you completely. Troy West and I both agreeing that St. Louis at the current odds of plus 122 is a side with value to win the 2013 World Series. Thanks so much, Troy.